Hi, welcome to this week's work. This is the end of Unit 1, our Foundations for Learning. We're going to be looking at a historical context for the social equity and social justice, and you're also going to notice two things open. You're also going to have your culminating activity has opened as well. So you're going to pop into your first lesson, and you're going to spend just one day reading about the causes and effects. So what happens all the way down to when the Greeks were angry with the Trojans, the effect, and all the way down to America believing that there are weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. So looking at cause and effect. And then we're going to look at a social justice issue that has happened right here in Canada with the Japanese Canadian survivors that happened in the Second World War. So have a read through this content and you can look at the roots of social justice issues right here in Canada. And these are questions to consider. So see, some of these are the things that happened to address the issues. If one of these stick out to you, just know you're going to be asked to discuss it in the discussions below. You're going to have a look here. These are the stages and continuum of everybody's own personal awareness of a social action or social justice initiative. So you're rather unaware or you're all the way to taking action. You're going to have to gauge yourself on this continuum, and you're going to have to be aware of how you move other people through this continuum. Then you're going to look at three initiatives that were created to help address social justice issues. So have a look at those and see what you think, because it's going to help give you the basis of creating your own success criteria. So here's a discussion. As I said before, you can pick one of those 5 questions that you've seen above, and you're going to talk about it, enter your discussions here. And then you're going to create and define your own success for social justice initiatives by clicking on the success criteria. And having a look. So here's our social justice criteria for understanding our own initiative. So have a look at these items and talk about the criteria and examples if you know the criteria is met. So if you have a target audience, who would be your target audience? So if you're looking at addressing homelessness of some sort, then you would create a target audience for your content. And that might be adults, teens that are old enough to help, but it probably wouldn't be elementary school age children or lower. So consider your target audience. You can start thinking generally if you don't have an idea, or you can already start thinking very specifically about your own initiative and creating your success criteria based on these criteria for success. And then you're going to come back to the lesson, and that concludes our historical context. And you're going to open up your culminating activity, stage 1. So stage 1 is looking at different social initiatives and different social activists. And you're going to look at some case studies, some very simple case studies. And then you're going to look at making a personal commitment, a manifesto. You can click here and you'll see a little video that's going to pop up, and it's very inspirational for me to watch the video. So clicking play, looking at the music and the commitments posted within the manifesto. And for some of you, maybe you prefer to read, and the outline is right here. So respect is important, okay? Sharing my time and my resources, these are important. You're going to open up the assignment and you're going to look at the template and you're going to create your own commitment, almost like your bye poem, and now you're creating a personal standards commitment. So maybe you are personally committed to equal freedom, equality, empathy. You're going to write each principle and you're going to give me an explanation of why these are important. Again, watching that video and reading your outline will help you better understand a manifesto. And that is the end of the learning for this week. I hope you enjoy, and I look forward to reading your manifestos.